Hi everyone, let's talk about lighting in a kitchen. We'll start out with the concepts of quality lighting design and layered lighting, then move into some specifics of lighting for kitchen activities, and finally some technical considerations. Light is one of the basic elements of design, and its quality is subjective. It moves beyond measurement and those technical issues and into psychology and mood. Therefore, a quality lighting design is complicated to accomplish. Right? On the left, you see a graphic from the International Association of Lighting Designers um, trying to account for all of the different things, all right, that you need to account for to create a quality lighting design. That goes from human needs through the architecture and different building related issues. And let's not forget economics and energy efficiency. I invite you to pause for a second here and take a look at all of these different criteria. So let's look just a little closer at this question. What is quality lighting? A quality lighting design is specifically designed for particular uses and special locations. That means it's not just generic light painted everywhere, right? And it allows users to function comfortably, to feel safe, and to appreciate the world around them. A skillful application of the principles of design will create a quality lighting design. You need to integrate light into the entire composition. That means you don't just think of it as an afterthought, and use the layered lighting concept. Here's a couple of examples from the Kitchen and Bath Lighting textbook. On the left, we see an example of a kitchen designed for both social interaction and food prep. All right, and so we've got some specific lighting solutions for those tasks. On the right, we have an example of a kitchen designed more for food prep. All right, and you can see that the lighting is therefore designed a little bit differently. Now, we can't talk about lighting without talking about sustainability. A quality lighting design will result in the conservation of natural resources, all right? So we are aiming to use less energy, right, by balancing and integrating daylight into your design along with your electrical sources. Right? This is going to give you reduced energy usage and therefore reduced energy costs. Let's talk about this concept of layered lighting. We said a quality lighting design uses layered lighting. What is that? Well, it means using multiple light sources in a room or space, each with its own defined purpose. That includes the natural light, the daylight that we were just talking about. Right? And we use layered lighting in order to give our users flexibility to select and adjust the lighting levels, all right, for their different activities and different needs. We can categorize and group those layers of lighting into ambient, task, accent, and decorative. And you'll see this all throughout interior design in general. It's not specific to kitchen and bath. Let's take a closer look at each of these. So let's start out with the ambient or general layer of lighting. This is going to provide uniform lighting within a room, all right, so that you can see the overall shape and size of the space. Right? The ambient layer will usually provide the mood or character of a room, and you want to have a comfortable level of brightness without glare. Right? Your ambient lighting is also about safety, and you need to provide enough illumination for your user to move about the space. One thing to remember is that daylight can be your source of ambient lighting, but you still need to provide artificial lighting for nighttime and cloudy days. The next layer of lighting is task lighting, and given the name, you can figure out that this layer provides quality lighting for specific tasks. Now, in general, this could be anything from reading to working to playing games, right? But for kitchens, the main task is food prep, all right? And when you move into bathroom design, the main task is grooming. Here's an example on your screen. In this case, we've got some pendants providing task lighting over the island. Talk about accent lighting. This is a tool for a designer to add drama and visual interest to a room. Accent lighting is used to emphasize any visual element, such as artwork, sculpture, architectural details, etc. Right? You can also use it to highlight the texture of any of your materials, brick, stone, fabric, plants, etc. Here's a couple of examples of accent lighting in a kitchen. We see it highlighting some decorative elements. Last on our list is the layer for decorative lighting. Decorative lighting is designed to be a focal point in a space, right? The luminaire itself, the light fixture itself, is an ornamental element of the interior, right? And it's typically a specialty architectural lighting solution. Right? Decorative fixtures are used to add sparkle. The light is an art. The difference between accent lighting and decorative lighting, right, is a little fuzzy, but accent lighting is used to highlight something else in the room. In decorative lighting, your user is expected to look at the light fixture itself. So here's an example on your screen of layered lighting. We've got ambient lighting provided by the recessed lights in the ceiling design. All right, and we've got chandeliers above the islands for task lighting, and those chandeliers themselves are also decorative elements. That brings up an important point. Sometimes fixtures, individual luminaires, all right, function as two different kinds of layers at the same time. A major example of this, excuse me, is that a decorative element can serve as maybe an ambient or maybe a task lighting. For example, that chandelier we were just looking at. Also, your ambient luminaire can serve as a task lighting. For example, a small laundry room where you only have one light. It really fulfills all those functions. Now, this particular case is not best practice. It's not a good idea to just have one light fulfill multiple functions. All right? We prefer to actually provide different luminaires, right, for these different functions. Your Kitchen and Bath Planning Guidelines book also gives an example of layered lighting. So let's take a look at this illustration here. We've got somebody in a kitchen and we're providing some task light with this under cabinet lighting. All right. We've got some ambient light with the recessed lighting. All right. We've got some ambient lighting provided by this decorative fixture. Right? And I would consider this over cabinet lighting as well as ambient because it's going to bounce around and illuminate the entire room. If we look over here at table 8.3a, you can see the different layers of lighting, general and ambient. Right? Interestingly, the Planning Guidelines book has broken out the overhead and the wall-mounted task lighting as two different elements. Indirect lighting. That's an interesting way to organize their layers of lighting. Do you think indirect lighting is part of ambient or is it part of task? I think it probably could be either depending on how you're using it. Right? And as we mentioned before, we also have decorative and accent lighting. All right, everybody, in this video, we just considered what it means to provide a quality lighting design and then went into more detail about the layers of lighting concept.